Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokemon White version. In the last episode, we took on the Battle Subway's multi-train to see how overpowered Hilbert's team is. This time, we're going to be using the Battle Subway more for its intended purpose, but first, the Wi-Fi train exists. Well, it used to. It's just multi-battles with people over the internet, but that's all I'm gonna say because it doesn't exist anymore. Our main topic of the day is this, Anvil Town. If we enter here... Would you like to board the train to Anvil Town? I would. The train is leaving the station shortly. All aboard! In we go. Anvil Town. Place you might not have known existed. Has a nice song. It's unique to it, which every town has so far, and I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. If we check the town map, you can see that we are very, very, very far to the northwest of Unova. This is a town that is exclusive to the Gear Station. We can't even fly here later. There's no Pokemon Center or any healing spot at all, so... yeah, this is just a nice little out-of-the-way town. Obviously, I want the dowsing machine on, just to be safe. I want to head up here. When you get close to this flute player, the music becomes how it always should be. This song very much reminds me of National Park from Gold and Silver. It's just a very nice melody. Beautiful tune is spreading throughout the town. That was not what she said. She was not talking because she is a flutist who is playing the flute. Excuse me, Jesus. We talked to this guy. Oh, are you also curious about that train? I am. Alrighty, let me explain. This car is a double train. This is a mass-produced car from a decade ago. Compared to a single train, the number of parts was reduced so it could be built for a lower cost. The number of parts influences the budget and construction time. The streamlined and beautiful design of the double train is still valued today. There will be a different train here in the depot every single day, and this guy will explain them to you, so it's another daily event in Nimbasa City, kind of. Although, I mean, I'm gonna count this as part of Nimbasa City because you can only get here through Nimbasa. A lot of train cars have a rest here. Nice. That girl on the bridge. She's playing a lullaby for all the sleeping trains of this town. The name of the song that plays in this town is actually a lullaby for trains, so correct. And in the middle of these flowers, we can find an Ultra Ball. Yet again, the developer's favorite hidden item. I already got 10 of those from Professor Juniper, but won't complain about getting more. We can use those on legendaries because we'll definitely need them. On weekends, a lot of people come to watch the trains. We'll go into that in a minute, dude. If you head in here. If you come out on the weekends to watch the trains, there will be a lot of people. Okay, buddy, Jesus, I work on the weekends. Calm down. On the weekends, man, Starpies gather here. Dude, I get it! I work on the weekends! I'm sorry! We had in this house. Hello. Oh, with a face like that, I'll bet you're a Pokemon trainer. I work as a depot agent on the Battle Subway. Have you tried challenging the Battle Subway yet? It's a hot spot for those who want some serious battling action. But some people get too wrapped up in their battles and there's no end to the lost and found items. That's right, nobody ever came to pick this up, so I'll give it to you. Rare candies. That is the best item you can possibly get from this guy. It's better for a trainer to use it than for me to hold on to it. I'm sure the item is happier too. So he gave us 2 rare candies there. That is the best item you can possibly get from this guy. Every time you win 7 battles on the Battle Subway, he will have an item for you. So that's another thing to do after challenging the Battle Subway, is to come here to get an item from this dude. He can give you anything from well, okay. I know exactly what he can give you. He can give you 2 rare candies, he can give you 4 restores, max revives, or any of the EV raising vitamins. So we got very lucky getting the best one there. On weekends, you can come here to meet some item collectors. There is a Star Piece collector who will trade the Star Pieces you get from Challenge Rock for some really good items, although there is another way to get rid of Star Pieces at a price higher than Shops later that I personally prefer. The Backpacker will trade Escape Ropes for Revives, which is a great trade if you have a Pickup Lillipup in your party, and there's a girl who will trade you a full restore for 20 Pokeballs, which is a ripoff because we don't need full restores at this point in the game, and Pokeballs are nice for getting legendaries in funny fashions. That's all there really is to Anvil Town. It's just a nice little place that's out of the way with a really nice song that we'll be listening to more at the end of the episode, I promise. So, yeah. And that's all there is to Gear Station for now. We will be coming back here later to fight the subway bosses, but that's going to be in a very long time because I want to fight them at their strongest, which means I'm going to need a competitive ready team, and that's not happening until the post-game. Our next stop in Nimbasa City, the city that we need to explore to its fullest, is the eastern exit of Nimbasa City. I want to talk to this baseball player. Let's train Pokemon vigorously. You who like training and you who don't like training. Let's train our Pokemon by giving them these. Give you the Macho Brace. This increases the EV gains of a Pokemon, but lowers the speed. That's just all EVs. Not a great item, but, you know, if you want your Pokemon to have higher EVs and you don't want any specific ones, then that's the item for you. A camper has been parked in Lost Lorn Forest on Route 16. I wonder how long it's been there. This way leads to Route 16 and Marvelous Bridge. Route 16, we want to fight this police officer right away because he is annoying in the post-game. We will be coming back here in the post-game, and let me tell you, this guy, you forget to battle him here, he will battle you in the post-game, and it's just annoying. I don't know why, but this is like a shared experience that everybody seems to have of just fighting this guy in the post-game and getting annoyed by it. So, yeah, no, we're fighting him here and now. But Wilbur's definitely not. Oh, God, you have workup and takedown? That's rough, because he tries to force a switch with Intimidate, too. Holy shit, this cop. This guy is actually one of the tougher trainers we've seen, and he's a cop. I hate that. Hopefully Fire Punch one-shots. Oh, he has +2 attack right now. And he missed, okay. Okay, that was not... It was scary, but it became less scary when he missed takedown. And now Darunia wants to learn work up. He saw it and now wants to learn it for himself. We only really need either Facade or Headbutt, and really I'm not going to be taking advantage of Facade's added effect too much, so we'll go for Work Up. I don't expect to use moves like Work Up too often on Darunia, but, you know, it can, just in case, it can be fun. You were so strong I couldn't help falling back. Okay, asshole. You look like you're looking for somebody to beat up. Alright, so we're going to be fighting the trainers on this route, but in the meantime, I'm going to be going over the Pokemon that can be encountered here. So let's start with the worst. Liepard. It's still bad. It's as bad as Purloin was on Route 2. It's competing with Sandoyle. It's competing with Sandile and Scraggy to be a good Dark type now. And while it does get some fun tools like Thunder Wave and Fake Out, it's a terrible excuse for what it's trying to be. A fast mixed sweeper. Again, Sandile and Scraggy are just flat out better options if you want a Dark type. Liepard is just as bad as Purloin was back on Route 2. Minccino is a great Pokemon for more reasons than just its adorable face. It's very, very fast, gets some great moves below 60 power, and it gets Tail Slap pretty soon, as well as Rock Blast and Bullet Seed once it evolves. Minccino is one of the only Pokemon in the world that can actually use these multi-hit moves to their fullest potential thanks to Technician as an ability. You can also give Minccino the Scope Lens as a fun trick, as every individual hit from those 2 to 5 hit moves rolls separately for a critical hit. Minccino is definitely more fun to use in future games, but I can't say anything super bad about it here either. We'll also get the stone to evolve it relatively soon. Very, very rarely you can find Cinccino in Rustling Grass. But it'll have Tail Slap, Tickle, Sing, and Helping Hand and never learn another move through level up again, and I am dead serious about that. Yes, you can still get Rock Blast and Bullet Seed on it if you catch it here, but unless you get extremely lucky, you're better off just catching Minccino. Going to the route that's nearby here, in Pokemon Black version only, Gothita can appear. Gothita is a tanky psychic type similar to Munna. It's a special wall that gets some decent attacking moves. We also get access to Thunder Wave, Light Screen, and Reflect. Gothita isn't bad, but because the game is primarily single battle focused, this isn't really worth it. In White version, Solosis can appear. It's an HP wall. Magic Guard is a fantastic ability, and while it can be caught at level 25 where it'll already have Psyshock, Solosis' beginning stats are pretty bad. Luckily, it'll evolve relatively soon. It's a great Life Orb user thanks to Magic Guard, which we already have access to thanks to the Battle Subway, and it's a fantastic user of Trick Room as well. Trubbish. Trubbish is awesome. Pure Poison is a great defensive type, and it has great stats all around. It learns Stockpile really close to where it is when you catch it, and it's fast enough that it can easily outspeed other tanks. Unfortunately, most of its best attacks are special attacks, but it's still good. And also it can be found holding a nugget 1% of the time in dark grass. Emolga is very fun. Its greatest strength is its speed stat, and its typing is amazing. Static is also a great ability. It starts with Spark and learns Electro Ball really soon, which is great for Emolga, along with getting Agility and Thunder Wave to make it even better. I remember having a battle with my older brother where I swept his entire team using only an Emolga, by having it stack up double teams and then just spamming Electro Ball and Acrobatics. That was a fun battle. I genuinely highly recommend Emolga if you're in the market for a decent Electro type and didn't have any interest in Blitzel. I'm gonna heal up my Pokemon real quick without distracting myself by trying to read my notes about Pokemon that can appear here, because as you can see, I'm not great at multitasking in that way. I just don't want Wilbur to be fainted. I want him to gain some decent levels and be caught up with the rest of the team. I don't want him falling behind again right now. He probably will later, but by then he'll be able to keep up on his own. Anyway, just to get him out of the way, let's talk about the encounters in the area that we are about to explore as well. Why? Well, because Chucky Conroy did, so what the fuck ever. Unpheasant is the final evolution of Pidove, and all the drawbacks that applied to Tranquil and Pidove still apply here. It would be better if their special attack and attack stats were swapped. I do really like that the design changes depending on the gender of the Pokemon, though. You can see the male is much more showy to attract mates, while the female is actually bearable to look at. Leavanny can also appear in Rustling Grass in this next area. Leavanny's whole game is hitting with moves with a high critical hit chance and hitting with them fast. It has access to Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade, X-Scissor, Slash, and more. It always comes with the same moveset as Berg's too, except with Bug Bite instead of Struggle Bug, which is a very large improvement because Struggle Bug sucks ass. Okay, that is all for new encounters. Which means I'm going to speed up the rest of the battles on this route because I didn't get through them all while going over encounters. God damn, Darunia, that would have been a one-shot if it didn't use Iron Defense. That's crazy. A Whirlipede, even if it is 3 levels lower, that is crazy damage from Darunia. that's all the battles on the route, so now we're gonna use Strength here. I've kept Eugene in the party just because Strength is a much less situational thing than Cut. It's still very situational, but it's less so. You spray a Repel. Just to avoid wild Pokemon, because they can get kind of a... There's another trainer behind that rock? How long have you been here? Alright, TM66 for Payback is back here. And I think there's a hidden item here. Not hidden, it's behind this. It's just hard to tell you can go behind that. Charcoal increases the power of fire-type moves. That is what that girl would have given you if we had gotten a Panseer. You're kind of seeing what I mean about choosing the Mystic Water. We still haven't seen a Mystic Water out in the wild, and yeah, it's a good thing we got it when we did, because we can just get the other items. This girl's name is Laura, like L-O-R-A. I thought that name was made up for Xenoblade, to be completely honest. I had never seen Laura spelled that way until Xenoblade 2, but I guess it's an actual name. That's interesting. Good to know. Alright, next we're gonna go up here through this grass. We're gonna use Cut on this tree. And head up here to find another rare candy. We are coming across these like they are nothing lately. We're gonna go into a rare candy drought soon, I promise. Now let's head into here. Lost Lorn Forest. It has its own song, which is pretty cool. There's a hidden item up that cliff that we can't get yet. I vividly remember that. I'm turning off the dowsing machine just so I don't have to hear it tell me about it. And if we head up here, Repel's effect will wear off. You know, there are people in the world with many different values. Some people enjoy things you might not think are fun. Having a lot of different values in the world makes it a richer place. That's what I think, anyway. I really enjoy traveling around the world and talking with different people, but the woman who lives here seems to think living quietly by herself is important. Alright. She will not speak to us. You know what that means? Wild Pokemon! More accurate than you might think. But that means it's time to threaten them out of their home with a legendary Pokemon. Yeah, I'll put Lullipup in the PC. We only need one of these, so you don't need to take all three of them. Don't worry about that. I'm also going to take this antidote, and I'm going to move all these Pokemon into Box 1. If you're doing this event, I personally recommend teaching Thunder Wave to Raikou and actually using it for this event. Because, I mean, if you... This goes specifically if you don't have another electric type on your team. If you do, don't worry about doing this. But I'm gonna teach it over Weather Ball. If we head up here now... Growlf! The suspicious woman attacked! Entei. You know, Entei is the one I could believe could do that the most. Where it could, you know, like, make itself look like another thing. I'm gonna Thunder Wave it. Raikou is not a permanent team member, don't worry. I just wanted to use Raikou for this because it's, you know, an event related to the legendary beast, so... You know, follows that I should use a legendary beast. Let's use extreme speed, see how much it does. And it reveals itself to be Zoroark. Zoroark is one of the most powerful Pokemon you could conceivably have at this point if you have access to the events the Relocator can transfer up to this game somehow. It suffers from the same problems as Zorua, however its attack stat is already incredible, as well as its special attack, and it's only a few levels away from learning Night Slash, a 75 power Dark-type physical move with a high chance to get a critical hit. If the things I said about Zorua made you second guess yourself on using it, make no mistake here, Zoroark is nothing but powerful. The Zoroark is also always female, which is a reference to the movie Zoroark Master of Illusion. I'm kind of nervous about weakening it anymore using Raikou, it has a 45 catch rate. Maybe I can catch it now? We'll see. It doesn't have traditional legendary odds, so maybe. It's just like, if extreme speed was a low roll, then, like, that would knock out if we use it again and get a high roll, so maybe even if we get a low roll, it might be at exactly half and it's just counting it as green. I don't know. Paralyzed. Yeah, having it paralyzed is definitely going to be a big help here. I'm just going to keep chucking balls and hope I catch it. Come on. I caught Victini in like 7 Pokeballs. You have an even higher catch rate. You can't be harder. Ugh. Anyway, Zoroark will appear as whatever legendary beast the one you are using on your team is weak to, kind of. It'll appear as Raikou if you're using Suicune, it'll appear as Suicune if you're using Entei, and it'll appear as Entei if you're using Raikou. Raikou isn't weak against Entei, it's just not a ground type, so yeah, they were left with only one option for the rest of the triangle. Okay, we're consistently getting one shake. Our speed can't go lower, which is not good for catching Pokemon, but we have it paralyzed, which should balance it out. Oh, come on! 3 shakes? You're gonna give me the 3? Bruh. Oh, now you're taunting. Nice. Nice. You want me to hit you. Yeah, you want to get knocked out. Yeah, you want that, don't you? You fucking bitch. Jeez, that was like guttural. I should not have said that. That was rude. I'm sorry. Yeah, I deserve that. I'm sure this is how Professor Juniper wanted me to waste all of the Ultra Balls she gave me. Catching a Pokemon that I could easily get through evolving the Zoroark I already have. There we go. As soon as I mentioned Juniper. God, I love her. Each has the ability to fool a large group of people simultaneously. They protect their lair with illusory scenery. I'm not gonna nickname you, you're like a legendary. So this was Zoroark's home then. Zoroark was using its illusion to trick people in Pokemon. It wanted to keep people away from its lair. I heard this place was suspicious, so I came to look, but it looks like I was tricked as well. Zoroark really reacted strongly to the Pokemon you have with you. There must be some history there, a quarrel or something. Such a beautiful field in a place like this. It's almost as if this lovely scenery is the illusion. Almost as if. Maybe it is. There's nothing here, there's no hidden items or anything, it's just like a nice open field that Zoroark was protecting and now is available for anybody to come and pillage. And we're the hero of this story. Alright, Lillipup, you can come back. The motley crew is looking a lot bigger now. Got all 3 legendary beasts and Zoroark, the mother presumably of this Zoroark, although that's not actually confirmed in-game. It's not confirmed that these two are related, but I think it's kind of likely that they are, because we got all of these Pokemon, including Celebi, through the Relocator. We got Zoroark as a result of a Relocator event, and we got Zoroark as a result of the same thing. So, maybe they are. It's worth thinking about. Anyways, I made a promise at the beginning of the episode that the episode would end in Anvil Town, so I'm going to Anvil Town. Next time on Pokemon White version, we will be heading back to Nimbasa City and finally challenging Elisa. See you guys then.